So the news of the week for the 22nd week of 2023. Now week was pretty big in terms of news. So first off, they gave us the Cinderella fairy godmother teaser. The wand on Cinderella stool or table or whatever they call it came out pretty much just a day after I did my last news segment. And then they kind of hinted at there was a lot of stuff coming this week. So the next up we got the feature in the next update 5 that we can actually put all our home variants all over the valley, which will be really cool. So we can have Eric's boat, we could have our own castle, we can have pretty much every biome could have a home. So that was actually interesting. It sounds like a little bit of cop out for them to avoid giving us more buildings, but hey, at least we can fill the valley out and make it look busy. The next one was the big one. It was the splash page for update 5. So we pretty much got everyone excited about the splash page. Everyone saw it was confirmed fairy godmother. I think everyone got really obsessed with the person that's in the treehouse. Who's in the treehouse? There's so many different. There's people thinking it's Peter Pan. There's some people thinking it's the treehouse that's part of the actual quest line that we first saw in the opening cinematics. Not sure who it is. The splash page did see lack of other content that we normally get with splash pages, so I've got a feeling that it's not the last version of the splash page we get. And finally, we got the roadmap that is going to be released for the middle half of 2023. So we've got confirmation that Belle is coming in September. We've got confirmation that Vanellope is coming on the summer update. But we also got confirmation of a future update with Aladdin. But also to indicate that update 6 is going to be the Belle update in September. And update 5 is going to be the early June one. So what is the summer update all about? That's not a named one. It's like a mini update drop, which they haven't done before. So that was actually rather interesting. So those are all the top stories of the week. And what we'll do now is we'll break them down a little bit further. So first up, we'll do the table. So we'll switch over to... All right, we'll switch over to here. All right, so this is the table that was revealed pretty much only like a day or two on the 28th. When was the 28th? The 28th was... That was Sunday. That was Sunday my time. So they revealed the table, and this was the biggest indication yet that we were going to get Fairy Godmother, because you had the table from Cinderella, which turns out that is actually in the movie. I thought it was Hercules because of the little things that are little curls that you had, but it turns out this table is actually in Cinderella, and then you had the Fairy Godmother wand on that as well. So that pretty much confirmed Fairy Godmother straight off the bat before we even got the splash page. So shortly after that, we actually got this teaser here. So this is rather a very interesting feature considering what the other information that we got. So there we go. So it looks like you could put multiple of your house variants now in the valley at the same time. I think that would be really wicked to help you flesh out your actual valley with more buildings, with more kind of atmosphere. But it does feel like a little bit of a cop-out that they're doing this so kind of make up with the lack of other shops and other buildings they have in the valley. So I don't know whether that's why they're doing it, or whether they're anticipating so many different variants coming up that they kind of just want everyone to have the ability to actually pop that into their valleys. So that's a cool feature though, added on top of all the other features that we're going to get. But the big news was this one here. This is the big reveal of the title of the new update, and the confirmation of the Fairy Godmother. So the new update 5, is called The Remembering. And yes, we indeed got Fairy Godmother. That was always speculated, and obviously it ties into the Pumpkin House. Now, whether the Pumpkin House is the final iteration of the house, because remember, Fairy Godmother turns things from a pumpkin into something else. So I'm hoping that we'll get something similar to what we got with Toy Story and with Woody's Carousel, that this phases and it actually gets either bigger or more shiny or prettier. But if that's all we get, it's still a pretty good model in game, that is. But the big one everyone kind of looked into and kind of obsessed over was the treehouse. Now the treehouse is very similar to the treehouse that's in the opening cinematic. of Dreamlight Valley. If you don't remember it, it basically looks like that. But the big thing is the silhouette that is in the treehouse. I think that's what everyone has been focusing on. Everyone has been deep diving into is the silhouette that's there. What we'll do is we'll open it up in paint, eh? Give us a second. So what we'll do is we'll zoom in to this, the silhouette. Ooh. There we go. So what everyone said, so obviously Merlin is checking out whoever's in here. And if you can't see it, the silhouette kind of looks like that. Well, I kind of messed that up a little bit. Let me try that again. There's the silhouette. So it's a question of who is this? Who is this? Now, obviously it's someone, because Merlin is kind of looking directly at it, and that seems deliberate. So I guess it's the question of who it is. Now, there's a few speculations. So some people think it's Peter Pan. Some people think it is Tinkerbell. I don't think it's Tinkerbell. It's never Tinkerbell. It's never going to be Tinkerbell. Stop saying things are Tinkerbell. All right. A lot of other speculations. Some people think even it's Cinderella. There is another theory that because the house looks very similar to the opening cinematic that you have in Dreamlight Valley, that this house is actually related to the actual story of Dreamlight Valley. As we saw on a previous image, we saw a dark castle. So it's quite evident we are going into maybe the dark realm, or whatever they call it, the shadow realm, whatever they call it in Dreamlight Valley. And this house might be tied in with that story. So maybe the shadow that you're seeing there is actually that shadow you always are chasing in the game of Dreamlight Valley. It could be tied in there. Yep, as Old Man Blue has said, it looks like the shadow of the dark thing in the original cinematic, correct. The purple guy with the crown. Or girl, depending on your model. I think it is going to be related to the story. That is more of the safe guess that people are saying, but there's also the wild, as we call the Tinkerbell crazy theories of all these different characters. But I think it's more reasonable. The simplest answer is often the right one. That's actually related to that. But who knows? Who knows? Could be completely wrong, but it's obviously significant. Now, the other big thing that I look at this image and I take away from is the background where you see the castle and Goofy in the background there and Wally and all that. That looks like a placeholder image. It doesn't look like the final image. If you look at the other images that you've had throughout the time with update 4, update 3, update 2, the background always matches the front. So if we quickly go, let's say here. Oh, this is the bad image. Let's go for this one. Let's go this one. There we go. So if you notice, the back fits the kind of vibe of the front. And if we go to update 3, same deal. Same deal. The castle's always in the back. So if we go to update 2, this is a bad update 2, but you can see the castle's in the back again. And we can see update 0. We can update 1. Even update 1, the castle in the background fits the vibe. So if we look at update, we're going to skip update 2 because I've got a bad image for update 2. So we've got, so that's update 1. This is update 3, and this is update 4. And if we look at update 5, it seems a bit out of place. It seems a bit out of place. And also, when you're looking at this image, you normally, let's go back to update 4, you normally see things related to the star path. You see other things related to the update in the background. So for here, we've got a lot of star path stuff on the left and the right. If we go to update 3, you see the cave, which is part of that storyline that dropped in that update. You had housing skins. That was when housing skins were introduced. You had Star Path costumes. You had the Star Path companion as well, and you had Olaf. You had other things that actually connected it all up. And if we go to update 1, we can see a similar vibe here. So we got actually this is update 1 was when the Sunlight Plateau actually opened up and you got a lot of it, but you got a lot of the back matching the front. That's why I suspect there's probably a lot more to tell in this image, and I feel like this is not the final image that we're going to get. Anyway, so we'll move on to the final piece of news. We'll go here. So this is the content map. So this was something I didn't actually expect to be dropped. Now, the key thing before we dive into this is looking at here. So we're saying update 5 launches early June, which we already know, and that's the one coming out with Fairy Godmother. Next one, it says more magic this summer. Now, if we look at this image here, so more magic this summer, that's the summer update. The next one says a surprise 6 update brings new neighbors. So the early June one is update 5. The September one is update 6. So what is the summer update all about? Now, when you're looking through what this is actually going to reveal, if you notice the star path kind of covers both those updates. So I think between update 5 and update 6, we're going to get 2 star paths. So we're going to get the Wonder of Pixar. I think it's going to be the first one. I think we can actually go to the actual article. What does it say in the actual article? It say, Of course, there's also star paths since launch was shared your most wanted themes with us, and we think we're going to make a whole lot of you very happy. Not only are we diving into the wonder of Pixar to shine a spotlight on even more beloved Pixar films, but this Halloween season will provide ample opportunities to get in the holiday spirit and bring some darkness to the valley. So we basically get in the wonder of Pixar. We did have initially a Pixar star path. That was the first star path. This is the first time. This is the first time they're actually reintroducing the same kind of theme to a star path, but I think it's going to be a different variation and different star path that we got last time, because last time we didn't get costumes for Pixar. We didn't get a lot of things that you now can get in the game. I think they're going to include it with this star path, so it's going to be quite interesting. But nevertheless, if we go back to the roadmap, it reveals so much. So we didn't reveal much of update 5. I think we've got a lot of things coming with update 5 that we've already gone over. In the summer update, now on the top right hand corner, everyone noticed this little binary code, and it actually turns out to be a code that you can actually redeem in game now. So if you do want to redeem the code, you want to type in not the binary code, you want to type in what it translates. Now I'm going to pop on the screen of what the code actually is if you want to be spoiled, or you just want to type in the code. But if you want to find out yourself, just type in that code in any binary translator, then use those 4 letters and plug them into your game, into the redeem code section, and you'll be able to get them. And I honestly, even though I've been playing this game since September, there was actually an item there I didn't have. Yep, use the code, but we will be getting Vanellope in the summer. And I'm guessing you could say that's part of update 5. I don't know whether that classifies as update 5, but I guess it's 5.5. So on update 5.5, we should be getting Vanellope. And we also will be getting a new feature. This is the confusing bit. So it says, flex your creativity with a new feature and win in-game prizes. Whatever that means. What is the in-game feature? Now, my theory is a way of uploading your selfies to a particular competition, or some kind of component, some kind of creativity thing. And it could also relate to the Touch of Magic feature that they're actually introducing into the game, that you could actually upload your particular items and people vote on them, something like that. It's so vague. It's a nice, really good trick of how keeping the community engaged in between updates, because look, seeing early June, seeing September, that's actually the longest gap between major content patches we've had ever in Dreamlight Valley, between June and September. It's very interesting them trying this, and I'm not worried. I'm surprised of the massive gap there between the 2 content drops, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. So yeah, whenever summer is, I guessing in the North Americas. So I'm thinking August, maybe August it will drop, but we'll see. Now, the big one, September. So September, we're finally getting Belle. We're finally getting the Belle who was on the Splashpage. Now, September does line up when the year anniversary of Dreamlight Valley launch. So whether we get free to play or not, it was always said that there would be free to play for a year. So September could be when it's actually dropping, and a lot of people are kind of weighing in the second part of the sentence as confirmation of it, when it says welcome new friends along with other surprises. So new friends possibly could mean new people that get to play Dreamlight Valley. I think that's maybe a little bit of a stretch. I think it's just a thing you would say when you're opening new valley and introducing new characters, but hey, it does line up. It does line up. So we will be getting Belle. Most likely we're getting Beast, as we are aware that Beast is already in the game in one of the memories. Gaston is also expected to arrive, because considering he's in the main splash page, his house is front and center. So possibly 3 characters on that drop, but we'll see. But also Halloween's returning, which I'm really looking forward to. I still have my Halloween section in my valley, so I'll be interested to see what the second Halloween star path is actually like. I think it's going to be really cool. In late 2023, we've got some hints of what to expect. Now, the big one is what we see there. Sands through an hourglass and on looks like desert beach. Desert lands, which obviously points to Aladdin. And I was talking about the genie the other day, and I really wanted the genie in the game, and I'm actually looking forward to the genie and to Aladdin. I think that was a very unexpected character. I don't think they've made any hints to Aladdin. There are no Aladdin items even in the game at the moment, so that was a big surprise for me personally, of them hinting towards that. But it also shows you that, yeah, they're planning on some surprises now. We're getting into the point where all the things they initially planned are now starting to add more to it that we don't know. We still have a lot of characters that we haven't seen in the game yet, that have been in trailers, like Cinderella, like Sully, like Timon and Pumbaa. There are characters there that we've still yet seen, and I'm surprised we haven't. So, I mean, obviously they built the models. The models are there. Still haven't seen them yet, and now they're going into the Aladdin direction. But most importantly, we go for new characters, obviously. New frontiers. What does new frontiers mean? I don't think it means new biomes. New frontiers could mean similar to the boat that we have on Moana's. Not Moana's boat. How you met Ariel. You took that boat and you went off to another area. So new frontiers is a very interesting phrase. It's not new biomes, it's new frontiers. So not sure what that would mean. Multiplayer. They said this last time. Multiplayer is coming. We still don't know how. We don't know what it's going to look like. Everyone's got previous cozy game examples, like Animal Crossing, of how they work, but how it's going to work here, no one knows. But yeah, I kind of want more information on that, but that's just me. I think we need to know what the multiplayer component's going to look like. And the interesting one here is the new Royal Tool. So what's left? I mean, you got the shovel, you got the axe, you got the watering can, you got a phone. I don't know what the new Royal Tool would be. What's left? That's interesting. So they definitely are laying a few seeds there, and obviously, as I said, also some other magical surprises as well. Yeah, that's the big one. But no official release date of the patch yet, but we're suspecting we'll probably hear something either next week or the week after. So that's really the news of the week, and the big one: redeem your code. Make sure you redeem the code. Why not? I don't know how long it's going to last for, and it's probably not going to last forever. So I forgot one thing. It is time to look at the premium shop. So the premium shop for this week is nothing new. So looking through this, it doesn't look like, actually, we'll move my camera slightly over here. So there's nothing new in the shop. It's like we've got Prince Eric's ship once again. We've got the blue whimsical companion pack. We've got some donut ears, and then we've got some, looks like some kitchen gear, some frozen kitchen gear. So nothing new. Looks like they're all kind of repeats, but ultimately, if you want anything, I think Eric's ship is going to be quite important, because according to the next features, you'll be able to plant that plus everything else, and having Eric's ship randomly in the sea will actually look pretty cool. That is the shop for the week. That's it. That's all the news, and we don't have any questions from last time, so that's the news of the week. And leave a comment or message down below if you're watching this on YouTube, and ask a question, because it's fun.